much for hopping on the line here and for speaking with me today. I really appreciate it.
No problem. How does it feel to be nominated for Favorite Villain at this year's Kids' Choice Awards?
I am so excited. I cannot wait until next Saturday. It's going to be a blast. It's a huge honor to be nominated. It's actually going to be my 5th time going to the KCA, which I can't believe. But, in the past, I've been so thrilled to be there as part of the iCarly cast. But this time, it's a multi-dimensional Kids' Choice Awards for me. Not just the iCarly, but, of course, the Double Entendre of also being up for Best Villain. And I'm really, really grateful to the amazing fans around the world who are casting their cyber ballots on Twitter and online. Of course, hoping to continue to rally the support and continue to bring in those votes. I'm so glad that this is an award that, is certainly on a nomination level. We'll see what happens next Saturday, who punches those blimps in all the categories. But by being nominated, it's something that I think all of those fans who have loved Neville over the years, who have laughed with Neville and loved to hate Neville and his crazy schemes, can really relish and enjoy collectively. So it is so much fun, and I'm a huge fan of the Kids' Choice Awards. It's going to be a great night this coming Saturday. And I'm looking forward to getting out to Los Angeles and getting to hang out with all my friends again.
That's great. Now, I know there are a lot of good performers that are set up for the show. Which one are you most looking forward to seeing most?
I'm really excited about Christina Aguilera. I know we have Pitbull and Kesha and Christina Aguilera who will be, I think, tag teaming it or certainly putting on some great numbers of their own. But I'm a big fan of The Voice. I think it's a brilliant show. I think the concept is really smart. I think the talent that's come out of The Voice has been tremendously riveting, really, really incredible. So I'm looking forward to seeing Christina Aguilera back on stage. She is The Voice, and I know that she's moving in a different direction this season, but I can't wait to see, I'm sure she'll really bring it. So she's great.
That's great. Now, if you do win the Blimp on Saturday, how are you going to celebrate?
Well, I'll start with a dinner afterwards. I'm hoping to have some slime involved while I'm on stage. That's a good rite of passage. And then I think the first thing that'll go through my mind is, like I said, how enormously thankful I am to all the fans who have been amazing, who have watched the show very loyally, who have cast their votes, and this is something that all of us can share jointly. So I'll definitely, want to give a huge shout out to them online, on social media. And then that's a good question. I'm thinking I might want to take a little bit of a week off, a little downtime, and relish the blimp and relish the award and catch up on some sleep and hang out with my family and friends and then hit the ground running again.
That's great. Now, for people that haven't voted yet, how can they cast their vote?
Absolutely. So they can head online to nick.com/ this is a little bit of a mouthful, but I've memorized it, as you can imagine, many times. nick.com/ kids-choice-awards, and then they can click on the vote link, and they can vote for all their favorite categories. They're great nominees this year. But then in addition to that, there are so many platforms they can use. There are special Kids' Choice Awards apps. You can vote right on the mobile version of the Kids' Choice Awards website. If you're on your iPhone or your smartphone, you're out and about, it's a great way to pass the time. And one really cool new innovation is on Twitter, something that's had huge traction and that kids have been super supportive in doing, is to cast their votes, which I think is a great idea because, of course, Twitter, is kind of like the lifeblood of the world right now. And they can hashtag KCA, hashtag Vote Reed Alexander. So 2 separate hashtags, just separated by a space in that order, and they can tweet that as many times as they want with whatever message they want. And every time they post that tweet, it counts as a vote. So that's a great way that they can use for all their favorite nominees to do it really expeditiously as well and just get that vote out there. And, of course, show their support to all their friends and their followers.
That's great. Now, aside from iCarly, I know that you've also founded your own website called coolbites.com. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Definitely. So Cool Bites is my site all about healthy living and exercise and lifestyle for kids, for families, all around the world. And it's a super popular online virtual hub. It's an interactive destination. The homepage is a kitchen that you can play around with and hang out in, a cyber destination. And the reason is the kitchen is my favorite place in the house to be. But, it's been so much fun to work on Cool Bites today. It houses over 100 delicious and nutritious recipes with tips and suggestions in the recipe library and content and videos and celebrity interviews with everyone from, superstar celebrity trainers to my friends on Nickelodeon and Disney. being posted all the time. So it's always great to check out the brand new updates that are hitting the online airwaves on Cool Bites. And right now I'm really excited because in addition to the site, I am expanding the portfolio of CoolBites.com by launching my very first ever Cool Bites cookbook. So I've just been authoring the manuscript on my first ever cookbook of 100 recipes with Rodale Publishing, and it launches around the world September 3rd, so this autumn, just in time for back to school, and I'm looking forward to hitting the road on a national and an international tour all across this country and everywhere from London to Paris to Hong Kong, and to meeting fans one-on-one, signing copies of the book. That's something I'm really looking forward to. And in addition to all that, I've been super privileged to get to become a regular contributing guest on platforms like the Today Show, or I Speak Spanish, so Spanish networks like Univision or CNN in Espanol. Actually, just this morning I was at the Telemundo studios for the Telemundo broadcast network, where I was on their En Espanol live morning show called Un Nuevo Dia, in the kitchen sharing some of my favorite recipes. So that was a lot of fun. And working with President Clinton, First Lady Michelle Obama through their organizations, the Alliance for a Healthier Generation and Let's Move, respectively, as a national spokesperson, has been such a great opportunity to get to meet hundreds of kids in school one-on-one, or to launch a special menu of recipes, which today are being cooked and served to 30 million kids nationwide. So it's always growing and expanding, and I'm really loving exploring this whole genre right now of food. I'm a major food lover. So whenever I get to cook at the South Beach Wine and Food Festival or the New York Wine and Food Festival and see all my favorite Food Network stars and hang out with some of my friends like Sunny Henderson or Rachel Ray, it's a great way to communicate with people on a different level. And it's something I'm really passionate about. So it's something that I'm looking forward to continue to explore.
That's great. Congratulations on all your success.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's so nice.
No problem. What got you started into this?
Yeah, so a few years ago, I was overweight, lethargic. I really needed to make a change. As an overweight teen, I have a family history of diabetes and heart disease, and my eating habits were really out of control. I didn't have a lot of energy, didn't have a lot of self-confidence, but I knew I needed to take health into my own hands and make a difference. But at the same time, I didn't want to join a temporary diet, or something that was just going to be targeted at adults. I really wanted the tools and the strategies that I would need to, be able to have a long-lasting program that would, help me to build healthy habits early on, so they have longevity. And as a result, I started to comb the internet, read books, and I realized, and I was really surprised, that there was nothing out there from a kid's point of view. And therefore, improvisation is a big vocab word on iCarly, and we use it a lot in acting, and it means, inventing and creating as you go, but it also takes that root in the kitchen. So I began to turn my kitchen into a science lab. I'm a major food lover. Like I was saying, I've always loved, delicious food, going out for a great meal, cooking for friends and family, watching the Food Network. So I began to immerse my interest and my passion for food, which has, grown from traveling, experiencing different cultures, and just hanging out with people who share similar taste buds as I do, in addition to my passion for nutrition and wellness, which I was exploring and learning more about all the time. And I began to blog to myself, so to speak, and create all these different notes and tips and ideas that were working for me, simultaneously embracing the idea of physical fitness and making exercise really fun and less of a chore, especially, finding strategies to tackle it while you're on the road, which can sometimes be a little more challenging, but certainly doable. Mm-hmm. And throughout the process, I was really inspired because as I started to, drop some of the pounds, as it were, I would hear from, people, whether I'd go to a friend's birthday party or I'd be on set at iCarly, mm-hmm. Which included all long days. And, when you're eating well, you have more energy, so that was kind of a necessity. But I'd hear from them, wow, Rita, it looks like you made some big changes. What's going on here? Open up about this. We want to know. So I was, very inspired by that, very motivated. And eventually I lost 15 pounds, and I started to feel so much better. And I realized that with all these recipes, with all these tips and ideas, I hadn't just stepped on the scale at the doctor's office and fallen in the right category in my BMI and kind of, ticked the box and said, all right, I'm fine, no big deal, on to the next. I wanted to tackle up that hole that I had originally encountered, which was that there really was a void of information that was missing. And I wanted to be able to, contribute to kids and their families who might be grappling with these same questions, because it's a really timely issue. We do hear those ominous statistics all the time about childhood obesity in this country, so I wanted to be able to contribute, and that was the genesis behind Cool Bites, hence the launch. And it's been such a great reaction that I've received across the board. And as I said, really looking forward to launching the book and, of course, exploring new projects and finding new ways to take Cool Bites into the homes of people who are reading the site, which is kind of like the main crux and core of the brand, but who are tuning in from all across the globe.
That's great. Thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us. We will definitely be tuning in to the Kids' Choice Awards this Saturday on Nickelodeon, and I hope you win that blimp.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Juliet, and thank you so much for your time. It was so much fun today.
No problem. It was great talking to you, too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.